Good morning.
Good morning, TGIF.
Welcome to FYI. For your information, I am Georgia Finance joining you this morning alongside Sherrod.
For your information.
For your information, guys, it is
FYI.
Friday, the 15th.
TGIF.
Friday, the 15th of July.
Already half the month is gone.
Yes.
Half of it is gone.
Half
We are
of it,
doing.
the week is through. Half the month is out.
Yeah.
Where are we? Where are we with those little to-do lists?
It's payday. It's very close.
Payday.
Very close.
Listen, sometimes.
So half the month is gone. We think about payday. We are close to payday. But half the month is gone. Your goals, your aspirations, those things that you have set, your aims, your objectives for the month. Hope you guys are closer to fulfilling it, Hope so.
I'm glad it's Friday. I don't know about you guys, but
Yes.
I am ecstatic.
Yes.
It's Friday.
Yes. I'm maxed out and happy it's Friday too.
I am maxed out.
Maxed out and happy it's Friday. Very, very happy it's Friday.
Guys, what's going on your end? I see Beatrice.
Please let us know. Let us
And all
know.
of you wonderful folks.
Let
here
us
in the
know what's
comment
happening at your
section.
end.
John Jones and all you wonderful ladies and gentlemen out there this morning. I'd like to say
John Jones, please let us know.
John Jones.
Please let us know how you guys are
Isabella
doing.
Butters, good morning to you. Isabella, full conversation going on over there in the comment section.
Full conversation?
Everybody.
I'm just pulling stuff.
Candy that was saying that everybody says good morning, everybody
like
in the
who?
family.
Me like everybody. Who's everybody?
Yes. Names were
Who's everybody?
I can't remember those names, guys. Tracy Garway, good morning to you, Tracy and June Chase, Paula Hawk, Kippins, good morning to you. How are you guys doing? Warnella Garnett, good morning to you. What's going on this lovely Friday morning at your end? This morning was, I don't know, I woke up feeling super, super cold. So that's Warren Figueroa, good morning to you, Warren. What's going on at your end?
And you turn the heater on?
I wish. I wish.
You should have turned the heater on.
I'm that kind of bouge, that's you got to talk to some other folks about that.
We're gonna do that.
Beatrice, how you doing? Carl Fordyce, good morning to you. Carl, Stacy, and Stoll. Tessa Isaac, Grace Zandy. Tessa joins us out of Orlando. So good morning to Tessa and all of
morning, Tessa.
Orlando this morning.
Long Island, good morning as well. Orlando, good morning. New York, good morning. You got Queens, good morning. We say Brooklyn, good morning. Region 3 on the whole. Stacey and so say thank God for life indeed. Every day we wake up, folks, above ground. You gotta thank God for life. I know if you wake up below, I won't find out. But every day we wake up, we gotta say thank God for life, Because we're on the other way. So many people didn't. Gotta be grateful. Must be a purpose with all.
So I just went back up to pull up a comment. I see Mimi Hendrick, you say, well, Sherrod, I am here mourning for the loss of my mom.
Oh, wow. Mimi, sorry about that. Our condolences.
Our condolences to you, Mimi. This is very sad.
Our condolences. And we hope that you guys pull through this, better days are ahead. Believe it or not, these too shall pass. Believe it or not. But our condolences to you and the entire family there, Mimi. Our condolences. Yep.
Very sad, our mothers are like the roots of everything.
The anchor holds the family together, especially a good mom. A good mom, So
we're so sad about that to hear. So our sincere condolences, like Sherrod said, goes out to you and your family. Just make sure that you hold it together and be strong at this very difficult time.
Correct. And to all the other pages that are joining us this morning, all the other social media sites that we've gone through to, whether it's not WhatsApp, it's Twitter, it's LinkedIn, it's YouTube. We want to say good morning to all the folks who are joining us at that end. It's really a privilege to be with you guys. We say share the live, smash the emoji button, guys, and be to partner with us as well.
I see Sherry Baskin Greenwich is in with us this morning. So she's listening to credible information. Sherry knows what's up. Credible information every day.
Well, we won't hear nothing else. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. All of you who are joining us around the world, Renee, Lord, and Rhonda. You know who I ran into yesterday? Rhonda. Our very own Rhonda. Rhonda Lane. Boots on the ground. Rhonda. I saw a couple of missed calls from Rhonda yesterday. I think I was on the podcast. And then I was in town trying to pay a bill at GT&T. And who was waiting right in the corner of GT&T on Brick Dam there, the small building office. There's understanding there. Yeah, submit Rhonda, yes, yeah. It's always so refreshing to talk to Rhonda. Rhonda always on it, like always on it, you know.
Always on the ground.
Always on it, ready to fight. Fired up and ready to go. Always, always. Oh, that's our one disposition. Guys, we're so happy. Share the live. We're making sure that we're shared at our end too. And we hope that you guys share to some of the profiles you run. You guys are in lots of groups as well. Share it there too, folks, so that others get valid and credible information. That's how we do it. Valid and credible information all the way. Valid and credible information, guys. Yeah. Julia?
Well, the first thing I want us to head into the morning papers, if that's okay.
It will.
We're gonna rush
Let's
into
go
the
right
morning
ahead.
papers this morning. The first thing, guys, we were following a story, but we still are following a story with a specific young man who has been claiming to be a doctor, has been claiming to had attended some academic institutions and so forth. And as the story unravels and all of that, we're getting to see more and more. Everyone is denying, even the references that he stated was being denied altogether. Guys, this morning, believe it or not, we have a similar situation there. It says the child care agency is probing counseling done by a suspect psychologist. It says the Child Care and Protection Agency, that CPA, has launched an investigation into how an unauthorized person was allowed to counsel at least one client and her children at its East Bank office located in the old Ministry of Human Service and Social Security building. And guys, it says that the deputy director of the agency, Tanya October, told Starbuck News yesterday that an investigation has been launched into the individual's presence at the office up to Tuesday, where he met with a client. It is understood that the man who was told that the man who told the woman that he's on call with the agency 2 times a week is not employed with the agency and had no grounds to meet with the client.
So he was at the agency?
At the agency.
How does one gain access to the agency?
I'm
meeting with clients. That's interesting.
No, it begs the question, and I think you said it. Yes, I think Sherrod said it yesterday when he said once you look a certain way, you dress a certain way, and you go in, then doors are opened to you and all of that. I know the individual's name has not been proffered in this particular reporting here. However, it begs the question at the level of CPA. You a CPA, you are counseling a woman and her children, and you have no authority to do so. You're not even.
What kind of operation are running on that side? What kind of operation? What kind of operation on that side?
The fact is, and I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it from the point of view that only recently we were looking at. Up to yesterday, we were discussing the individual opposing to be a doctor. And then now today, another reporting, and it begs the question of how many persons are out there pretending to have certification, pretending to be.
We gotta go into this, We gotta go into this, right? So we hope it's none of y'all. It's not Quincy Walcott or Margaret Nelson or Wilma Grant, no Deborah Clark, no our friend Carol Rollins, We know it's none of y'all. We don't roll like that.
Yes, but there's and it brought back these situations bringing back a story to my mind in which the man. His wife would go with him up to the hospital gate. He's going to work, the doctor, and she would go with him all the time. And this one day, she just said she's going to surprise him. I think it was his birthday or something. And she went into the hospital looking for him to give. And she asked everybody for doctor, whatever. I don't know any doctor like that.
Wow. Right? Moral stories don't surprise people at the workplace.
I don't know any doctor like that.
That's a moral story.
Until one of the cleaners said, "What? Who you're talking about?" The man was arrested this morning for pretending to be a doctor.
Wow.
Right?
The quactor.
Too many persons
the
out
quactor.
there. But the biggest question here is
John Jones has a bunch of mental nuts.
Right?
Captured it good.
That is very
up top comment.
Go to the front of the class.
Right.
No, but it's one thing to say that persons are pretending to be who they're not. But then what is the security level at CPA that a person could be there at an office site of theirs, counseling a family,
it makes you think,
and they don't know what's going on.
Some of the advice you might have got, you wonder why it didn't work out. You realize this is a quack titty. You say, go my boxy. Don't take the for me. Show who you is. And put you out. You got to take drastic measures of this. Put you out.
That's very serious. Very, very
Yeah,
serious.
you got to watch who you take advice from generally, generally. But, when in a certain environment, the trust level is high because you're trusting the person, the other.
You are going to see a CPA office
you know some McHale you're dealing with, or the McHales of this world, the McClellans of this world. A lot of people got a lot of things in front and behind your name, but, it's not the real deal, right? You hear doctor, right? Let's say Dr. Jack Dio, for instance. And you say, this man we're talking about, this man got PhD, he's a doctor. You see this thing here? You know, but watch the economy, you're going to know there's real doctors. Watch the free fall in the economy. Right? Watch the high prices, you're going to know there's real doctors. Right? Me, I'm not doctorate in front of him, in front nor behind. It's just me, and more Martley. And me, announced some measures yesterday. The people say this, they care about our people. Yeah.
She's looking at the right.
When we announce measures, people suck the teeth.
Yep.
Right? Doing meaningful, the folks in the morning, doing meaningful things. When things announced, people suck the teeth. Right? People cheer yesterday, said this woman got a heart for the people.
Yeah.
I didn't hear all the measures, but people said this woman got a heart.
May says immediately, basically, within a few days, persons are going to be seeing a reduction in price of some very important items, food items there on the shelves, because she's looking at it. She says she's consistently reviewing the tax system and so forth as it pertains to the cost of food items.
Yeah.
May is out there.
Working in the interest of people, not so much here, guys, not so much here.
Yeah, but caution there. I think the caution needs to go out for persons, especially, business people and so forth, and government agencies in particular.
Judy, I said the McClellans of this world, Carl Ford, I said the allies of this world. Just wanted to stick that in quick. Yeah. Yes, you're very right. So, very right, Carl.
But the caution needs to go out there for persons that are actually employing people and they are submitting qualifications. Well, they're submitting CVs, and so you have to fact check those documents.
Some of those things is formalities. Some of the things formalities. The organization don't call nobody. Don't do no due diligence, right? Sometimes you get a work in there, submit an application, right? You get called in, and people never ask you about the application, nothing like that. You listen to you something. You start your Monday.
So I just waste my time doing CVs and updating.
You understand what I'm telling you? And people just write it there in front of the name and walking through doors.
In front of me.
You go 4 years, 6 years UG, you undergraduate, you postgraduate, and so on, right? And people and thing with that.
Because I'm not a doctor.
That's it. DR looking for when I get DR, they label. We got some DR here. We label folks. We label it. Right? That's the times we're living in, though. That's the time. It's really and truly it's the times we're living in. Right? That's the times we're living in. You don't know who to trust.
Yeah, but persons need to be very careful, and I think CPA needs to send out a very sound statement as it pertains to this situation. I know an investigation has been launched, and I have to say that CPA is the one looking into the matter as is right now. However, they have to be very keen when it comes to the security mechanisms in place there.
Somebody could just walk in.
Who can access their,
how does that happen?
Right? How do they get access to client information to actually set up a meeting?
No, I'm just saying, how do you go to the other side of the desk to be meeting with a client in that environment nobody recognizes where you come from?
Like, I don't know how this works.
We should do some undercover work like that. See how many doors you can get in. You put on a stethoscope and a white coat. And you just turn up some place and say, morning, March, I'm heading in. I'm heading in, The guys didn't send you something, I'm going to be taken over from somebody. Interesting.
You fire some people and so on.
Yeah. Why are you wearing that? Come here. This country, folks. This is how we cope, We don't mean to make light of it. But this is how we cope here. This is how we cope. Interesting.
It is ridiculous. And
this is the season of fakeness. Right? You know when you get here,
from the helm, when things are happening at the helm.
Yeah.
When the head is going in one direction.
That was one of our top comments last night. People said it's Ali's fault. It's Ali's fault. Ali started this thing. And Like we can't fetch it. Don't cut to, you can't fetch. We got
FYI, family, don't go pretending to be who you're not. You know what I always say? Embrace your challenges, celebrate your strengths and all of those things, and just be yourself.
Be like me and embrace your poverty.
You have to. You have to.
Right? The difference between me and man is
we're walking into the bank again asking for an update on our account.
Look, when the bank see me, they put in somebody, said, don't come, we'll get a tap up. Nothing regular with you. We get a tap up. Flower Jacobs Ward and Christopher Jarvis, we see you guys, and we're so privileged that you folks are joining us. And Flower Jacobs, you know, Christopher Jarvis, I call his name, sorry. Yes, beautiful. Sasha Trim. You know, I'd love to see what some of you look like. You got some nice things like Sasha Trim. I expect a certain kind of person. You know, we gotta have a hookup.
So, Chiselle Chippers have my attention. Chiselle says, in my heart of hearts, I'm a pilot.
Yes,
I'm a pilot.
My heart of hearts. My heart of hearts. I'm a pilot. You know, heart of hearts. You know, all these things we gotta consider. I
have my certificates from university again. I have to put on display just in case anyone wants to question. Yeah. I have all the students that have been there. You know, I have all my groupings that I did assignments in and all of that. You know, I have
somebody
walking up the stage there to collect my
was trying to slight me. On social media. You know, they come after you and say, "Oh, you've been at the university a long time." Something. I said, "Well, you know. Sometimes they gotta stay in class to get the things they got to get. Yeah. You don't get it on the outside because you know we're so impressed with people that say, "Oh, the person got 2 masters and 2 doctorates and 2 undergraduate degrees." You actually have to stay in university to get it, unless you like these boys out there, unless you like any one of them, right? You actually got to be in UG.
They don't know that you did communications and law.
You know, see, and industrial relations and management before all of that. You actually got to be in there and stay and to get the things behind your name the right way.
If you don't pass it up onto the table.
And that is why we were talking about Dr. Amlata Prasad and her route, all the things behind her name. She said she's been at this PhD about 13 years now. You actually have to stay in university and do a couple of things, you know, your dissertation and so it takes a little while.
Yeah.
It takes a little while. Some people think since you walk in the UG, you know, some people are fascinated and romanticized with the idea. Oh, and I was there at one point. Oh, I'm an econ student. Oh, I'm a student at law. Oh, I'm a medical student. That's all the while. That's what you're signing up for. You're signing up for the 4 years of hard work. Right? Is the idea of being in the... I know a young lady who used to be fascinated by that. She used to be much like Dr. Mikhail McLennan, quote unquote. In the art of arts, I want to get him on the accreditation. Used to be saying, you know, she's a law student. You know, it's nice when you're in these pageants and you're able to say, oh, I'm a law student, or I do international relations. It sounds nice on a resume. It looks nice when you're doing this program. I should have it in a day now. She didn't. No, she didn't do it. You know.
So why did she say that?
Because it looks good when you are pageant contest and say I'm a law student.
Fraud. Academic
fraud. You see what's exciting?
Academic fraud is a real thing. Let's not.
It's the toughest thing started from Twitter. It's the top. It's a lot of fraudsters. They're coming out though. It looked like since Subas out, like a lot of fraudsters being revealed. You know, we got a lot of crooks and scams and people full with corruption who pretending that they're upright and moral and so on, but Subas them out and like, you know, a lot of things busted out since then. Right. So if you have fake things, you got to be worried about that.
Roll Hamilton is saying background checks and drug tests should be done prior to being offered employment. Well, a lot of people might not be employed.
The employment line can grow. You know, it's 30% of employment now, but 40,000 people. You want double it now overnight, right? You see, pre-out to work. A lot of people overnight don't just hand in resignations. You know, you have like Boris Johnson over there. You want to be the next president, right? Talking about that, I saw Donald Ramantar said some interesting things overnight during we touched up. Folks, hold on, Donald spoke. You know, after when Donald spoke recently, like Clement Rowe, he like, I'm running out now, all your fraudsters and fakes, right? I didn't remember them. You know, I didn't remember. When he wrote on Facebook, I said, oh yes, I don't remember. Roe existed.
They're making things right. They're making
things
right.
The conscience breaking them, you know, the conscience breaking them. What's that?
If we're to follow what Roe he said, you know.
Conscience breaking them.
It's going to be a different
right? Marla Pandey joining us from Carmichael Street. Pace and power. Right? Marla didn't tell her she's from Carmichael Street, but yeah, she said watching from Carmichael Street. I thought I picked up in my spray. Folks, good morning. Wherever you're joining us from.
Candy, our rich people.
Thanks to be waking up. We're happy that you guys are waking up with us. Folks, if this camera could turn the other way, would you be proud? What do you mean? I mean, you're watching us. If we could be broadcasting where you are, how you looking out, would you be proud?
Yeah, I wish we had a platform.
It just gets so
join like that.
Right?
Person can come in.
I see Kathy with a t-shirt and a big hole here. One corner hanging up. A lot of people are running and plunging behind some chairs and stuff. You know, but good to have you folks with us. Let us know what you're having for breakfast. Pull up a cup of something with us. We always keep a chair for you guys. It's Amanda's digital.
Qualification.
I don't
know why.
No, but I had his name. Folks, I had master in the program the other day. What's his name?
Mr. Richard?
Richard St. Clair, who was headmaster at East Chambers Secondary when Kwame was a student. And I put the question to him and he said, yes, it's true. He's a one subject major. He got one major, it's one subject. He said it's true. But what is the use? If you could become a minister of government with one subject, like why did I do 8? You know? Why did you do how much ever you did? Why you do a master's in another? If you could get through with one subject, you understand me? Right? When you try and come up and say, Mommy, I don't need all this. Why you bothering me? Right? This man's mentioned one subject. How you gonna come back from the now? Right? I sure several people from the PPP approached Mikhail McLennan to be a member. I certain he got all the
prerequisites.
All the prerequisites. Right? They seem presidential quality, Mikhail. Right? In the heart of hearts, Mikhail sees himself as president now. You could make it. If you could make it here, you could make it anywhere. A man can walk in and start counseling people in the organization and nobody recognizes them. Right? As a matter of fact, if somebody recognized Mikhail from the outside and called Bibi Hassan of the Cancer Society, say, Bibi,
what's going on inside?
What's going on by you, Bibi? You know, that's the place we live in.
And the people, because I know of an individual, a young woman right about now, who's going through all of the processes and the stages to get to actually achieving that bit of documentation that says you are certified to go and do counseling. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of processes you have to go through. No. She actually studied, graduated as one of the best in her class and all of that in psychology. But to get to that stage now, to actually be certified to go, it's a whole lot of hoops you got to go through.
Her problem is her belief system. She don't believe in her heart of hearts. She's a psychologist.
She would have just gone forward.
That's the problem. In her heart of hearts. She got to be bold like some people. You just walk in the organization, you start comes. You start comes. At least she got she things. Trying to go about it the right way. Maybe that's the problem folks run into.
Yeah.
Man, saying it's heart of hearts. See, doctor. How you gonna follow that? Good to see you, Marilyn Chalmers. Ayabo, Natasha Congreaves says good afternoon. Ayana, where are you joining us from? Ayabo says good afternoon all. So I want to know where this gonna be China, could be London, I'm sure, it could be London, England. The hours ahead of us. But good afternoon to you, to your heart to heart. She might believe this afternoon. Ayabo. Margaret Nelson and Candy, good to have you. Savitri Zalsa, Olado, Savitri, no, yeah, Deborah Clark, Vesta Hardy, Rajkumar. Good to have all you good folks with us. Go right ahead, Charita. We took a detour there.
Yes, we did.
Go ahead.
And guys, we have to move forward in the morning papers because we would be probably on.
We don't have to be sure. We can detour.
Yes. True, very true.
We don't have to.
But another bit that you must be aware of right about now, the challenge to the president's suspension of PSC members can now proceed after full court rejects state's argument, denies application for state.
Yeah. So Annie lost one more time.
That's the only way we should put it.
Annie lost again. I had the attorney on my program last evening on our affiliate program in the ring, Selwyn Peters out of Canada, international lawyer Selwyn Peters, and he was walking us through that, which is basically delaying tactics. I don't know this case, he's going to lose this case when it goes forward, and he's trying every delay tactics, but he lost this latest bid to get this case
because it's a legal matter. And we said it from the beginning. Whether you can't put the court in the position to go against the law. They are there to make sure that the law is followed.
Yeah.
And we said it before, it all sounds nice and then you could go out with a whole host of political arguments. But was this thing done in a legal way?
Yeah.
And that's why I was cautioning even the persons involved, the members of the police force, just to, you step back and don't get involved in the political back and forth. It's not going to serve you well, because when it comes to the law, the court is don't mess with them. Don't mess with them at all.
I mean, like, how are they gonna operate when we come back in government and to know the things they have said and the things they have done? Sometimes we have to send the resignation one time. Don't even wait for to get the march and all this. They just got to send the regulation and just move on. But that being said, we got a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff happening. And I could imagine, Anil Nandlal hasn't won a case since he became Attorney General. He's racking up quite a losing streak here. And I could imagine Anil gets up every morning saying, my heart of hearts, I'm winning these things. in my heart of hearts.
Actually, he doesn't say that. He said, this case, the way which it was presented, it should have been a win for us, and I don't know whatever.
You make sure you get a win word in there. Register, He heart to hearts.
He win in these cases.
And it's hard. But I figure,
we know, we've been telling you consistently, if you break the law, the court can go in and say that you didn't.
Correct. Anil seemed to be a fairly decent person.
Who is that?
Anil Nandlal, trust the cultural news aside and so on.
What do you mean fairly?
Law books, fraud and so on aside.
Okay,
mayhem aside, moderation is a good concept. So those things, he seems to be a fairly decent person, right? He seemed to know that, half of 65 is 34 in heart to hearts, right? CDJ might have said something different. So when you see this losing streak, you think, if you believe the supernatural, it's something with that AG seat. It's seat in the AG, something. They said the thing is so, and I'm strong. So I don't know if it's something like that. But I mean, I think Basil bright. I think Basil probably even brighter than Anil. And you got all these things happening. It makes you wonder sometimes what's happening here, right? Anil hasn't won, and he won a couple of cases prior to becoming AG. But since then, really give this competition face long, with a string hanging from it. But something with his seat, I don't know. I think so. And you respond. You put back the cup now. Did you finish? Let me see. Yeah, you finish. Put back the cup now. I think Basil bike like Anil, right? They're going to the same school.
Listen.
In the heart of hearts.
I'm not going to sit here and allow Sherrod to go down this road.
Well, you can stand up.
Cheese to chalk.
You're going to sit down. I'm happy you're backing Basil by saying that it's cheese to chalk with the comparison. It's something by the seat. It's something by the seat. Right?
What we're seeing right now. Let me give my response in this way.
Margaret, that is a drink you should keep my show business.
I have not thoroughly examined prior.
You cannot confirm or deny
cases
the
that
supernatural
were presented.
All of them.
However, having now been dealing with the cases that are presented,
don't pay attention.
Anil Nandlal, I can only conclude that he goes and he presents cases. I think that probably he himself don't want to be assigned to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But because of his political hat, he now goes through and have to defend people. So I think that's the case that's happening with him. He knows these things cannot go through, but yet your Sherrod is watching me.
I'm waiting for the other piece though. I'm waiting for the other piece.
Right. And so I don't know. I wouldn't say it's associated with the seat per se, but persons in the Attorney General seat needs to remember the seat that they're in. It's not per se. It is a political person, but you have to conform with the law.
I thought you were going to say they have to remember the schoolwork. Remember the cases and the law. So remember the work. Because I just forget it, like once you sit down there.
Sherrod's going to get me a lot of enemies.
Like once you sit down there, like you forget everything you ever learned in school. Right? Like I don't forget all them things you read in what's his name? Bukata School.
Them notes he read from the argument. They believe arguments could be swayed.
Yeah. You know, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. I don't know, but like I have a certain kind of stature prior. No, I don't know what happened. I think it is though. Right? But if you can recommend something we could cut out, you know, if it's some I must say lemongrass, some red lavender or something.
You know, one of the things that Anna said that had me like, what? You know, it was the case with the parliamentary secretary.
Oh,
right?
You're gonna go there.
I am going to go there. The case of the parliamentary secretary. I couldn't believe my ears. I literally went back to what he said. I played it over and over because what he said. Let me remind you guys. The parliamentary secretaries are there. It was challenged by the opposition that they are illegally sitting there in the National Assembly. We went through the whole technicalities and all of that. Well, the case went to court. The opposition won the case. Chief
Justice Roxanne George Belcher says they were sitting in
because it was so because we said it's illegal. If it's illegal, it's illegal. They're still there legally. But the thing was when Anil reported on the ruling, Anil said that what Roxanne meant was that they can't be sitting in a seat of parliament. So they can take, the PPP can take 2 chairs.
Put it next to the
parliamentary seat in the house for them to sit in. I said, no, you don't sit. I don't want to listen to the
game. He did say that. I thought it was wrong too. You could pull a chair. Pull him next to the parliamentary seat chair. Look, Carrefour Lights has the answer. Carrefour Lights say he steal the wrong books.
You probably didn't read it out.
He steal the wrong books, you know. The wrong books.
I have a colleague that
It's the seat. It's the agency. It's not a good day. You know, I think could quote the whole constitution as custodian.
I think so too.
Remember all the cases in Islam, but that's it. Yeah, I think
they set Arnold up to go to fight these things. I think Arnold's be cussing up. In all due respect, you know, I think Arnold's be cussing up and say, and so you sending me to fight this, you know? So
Arnold legally
you get in the money, you gotta go out and do the work.
You could pull a seat, you could pull a chair next to the chair with the parliament here. You know. Folks, this is my country, you know. The greatest country on earth. The greatest country on earth, you know. You know, the US got Trump. Right? Like it's a clown show internationally. The UK had Boris Johnson. We got your finale. We just continue and it's a continuum. This is season of it. We got your finale and then boys, you know. Attorney General said you could pull a chair next to and be within your legal
and that would
remit.
But he was saying that would be in line with the ruling. So, you know, I
what else we got?
I wanted to see how Roxanne would have taken that, but better sense prevailed. And they did not put that chair in.
They're still on the
walkway. They're still on the salary.
Those parliamentary secretaries that the High Court said they are sitting squatting actually illegally. The PPP got people still earning a salary.
Because their interpretation now seems to be that they can't sit in there.
Wow. But you can be outside as a parliamentary secretary, still earning salary. Kudos to PPP.
The people different. Listen, as we go along with the corruption. You know, Rams is still on the go, and I have to mention this because we've been talking about it for some time now. And Rams Logistics, you know, the attorney rebuked refusal of the local content certificate. You know, amendments, however, submitted to application. I know Rams seems to be fighting. You know, Rams is fighting at a rate right about now that I believe that there may be other persons' interest involved.
Rams can't give up that business. That's a good piece of bread. So that's a good piece of bread. And then they've made the investment already. They've been there where you want to walk away from the investment there. And then there's a good piece of bread. They're coming into all them contracts out there in the oil and gas sector, the logistics and so on, contracts to be had and so on. No. That's a good piece of bread. You do that, I need to attend to something else unsaid. Good. I'll be back in a second. Right? You think you can manage me?
On the matter of Rams, I want to say specifically as it has been reported, it says rebutting the refusal of local content certificate, SATRAM and Satram lawyers for the oil service company Rams Logistics yesterday argued that the rationale provided by the local content secretariat was not in keeping with the powers conferred on it. Very, very, very interesting that Rams is seeing that. It says writing directly to the director of the local content secretariat, Martin Pertab. The law firm contended that Rams Logistics had at all times satisfied the requirements for the act of registration as a local company. And we have been saying from day one, well, I've said it, Shed also agreed on that, is that Rams Logistics, the very fact that you're seeing the challenge coming forward as the challenge is coming forward right now, it is our opinion that there is another logistics firm there in the making, and persons want to get them out of the way. That is our contention at this end. We're saying, wait for it. You're going to see what is going on, wait for it, guys. You're going to see. But we are contending that that's the only way we're seeing it. So Rams is fighting back, continues the fight. The law firm there is on the go. They're rebutting, they're refuting, they're saying they've done everything right. And they're basically saying at this point in time that the secretariat is moving beyond the powers conferred on it for the requirement that they're actually requiring from them. So a lot still going on there, a lot still going on at that end. So we definitely will be following and bringing some more. You know how they operate in this country. If you didn't know prior, Vice News made it very clear how things and business is done here. So
you don't need to know Irfan, VP. VP.
Those Rams know that,
Yeah, they find out now. They find out. What else do we have? Heading into some international issues now.
Well, the one last thing I want to just mention on the morning papers, if I may.
Yeah, one last thing. One
last thing on the morning papers. This bit is going to have a whole lot more. I'm hoping to get some more information coming out on this particular case. But the skeleton remains thought to be those of Answar Stall discovered. And guys, this particular matter days, the police said that on the 13th of July, these were discovered, so in an area of Kurukuru, back dam. But the details of it, it's kind of creepy at some point to know the length of time that they're literally finding bones intertwined in plants and all of it. It's crazy. A suspected murder happened there. That's the investigation that's happening right now. We're going to be bringing more, but I think that those particular matters are not things you want no answers to. If someone committed a crime of that nature and is still out there in the public, you want that person to be behind bars. So a whole lot to be discussed there, but that's the one thing I wanted to mention as we move into the morning brew.
The morning brew, look what's brewing internationally, folks. This is what's happening in the UK. To our folks up there in the UK, or is it down here or across? Folks in the UK, this was the former finance secretary in the UK, and he is now the top contender for prime minister. He's not having an easy time because of his ethnicity. He is UK born, but his parents, his ancestors came from India. And Queen's Council even put on social media whether or not whether or not the UK will elect a brown man. Right? The brown man is a unique, bright fella, went to some prestigious universities and so on, know what he's doing, fully capable, right? But now race has been drawn into it. He isn't white, he isn't Caucasian, and will be the first time in the history of the UK you have somebody who is non-white, basically. Right? And now people face this stark thing. Once you're not white, you're non-white.
What's what?
The guy is fantastic. He knows his stuff. Been to some of the best school. He get his qualifications the right way. It's not just hard about in his head, right? In his head, and he's done it the right way. But again, it's how the system set up. Much like here.
But
you
we
know?
have to look at the examples set out prior, and especially when it comes to more developed countries. And you would see one of the things that we will have to bring into to light is the fact that Obama, the story of Obama there being elected president two terms in the
Yes,
United
yes.
States there. And at the very first, so when Obama was first elected, that campaign that went
Yeah.
on, that was a conversation that was being had, because he was not white,
Yeah.
he wasn't white, and that was the conversation. Yet he was elected. The Democrats went out there and they elected him, and they went back and elected him again.
We thought we passed this way before. We thought this was behind us, but
No, but it goes to show, and that's the point that I want to make, is like the conversations, although the conversations was had, he was still elected on a policy basis. All right.
Yeah.
And that's when you test the level of development that a country has gotten to. So I'm going to be watching very carefully as to the contenders going up against that particular young man there in the UK. And it's going to give me a better insight as an individual as to how far ahead is the UK in terms of persons being more prone to put up policy directive as opposed to an individual's ethnic makeup.
Here, Rashford says, wait, you mean Indians aren't white? Shocking. That's the context. You see, the thing is, you can be a part of the system, and it happens with the PPP. As soon as you can challenge the system, then the problem will come.
Yeah.
You and everybody's good friend. You and everybody's smiling and thinking and so on, until you decide, you know what? I'm Afro-Guyanese. Why can't I be leader of the PPP? Why? Because of my skin somehow, there's a glass ceiling there.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Because I'm Afro-Guyanese. I could never aspire to be leader of the PPP. What kind of party is this here?
We have to move.
Right? That's when you then become bad friend now.
We have to move forward as a country, and it has to start from somewhere. That is not a defined position for someone because based on their ethnicity.
Yeah.
So what do you mean to say if all the competent persons are, as when it comes to the PP, if the competent people are not Indian, you prefer to take an incompetent person and put them as leader? And this is the question that everybody needs to be asking themselves. What are you really looking at? You're looking at race, or are you looking at competence? It's ridiculous,
That is where we are.
Battle ahead.
And you know what?
Uphill task and all of that. I don't know when we're going to get there. I don't know if in my lifetime I'm going to see the change that I am. So I work so hard every single day to try to make my impact with.
This fella has been putting out his own economic policies because, Britain, like many places, has got some challenges economically. And I heard one of the commentators say, they have to decide whether they want to fix the economy or they want race. They want to, race can be the thing that we discuss, or we can discuss, let's say, the economy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. For me, it's gonna be quite a message being sent out based on how the electorate go out there and cast a vote, because it's gonna.
Well, this is the party. The party is gonna have. Well, same thing. The party's gonna have to say whether or not. The guy's bright. The guy has everything it takes. But much like here,
race comes before competence, and that's a sad reality that we've been living in for so very long. Race coming before competence is not something that we should subscribe to, but it's a process to move from one point to the next. With that, it's a process, and the process highly involves education. I think it was Dr. Amlata that spoke to that, and she said that there's so many ways in which you can make an impact, and she chose a path of education to make an impact through education, because that's where it all lies. If persons are educated, the more educated people are, the least likely they are to go down certain nonsense road.
Yeah. This other story is quite interesting too, folks. This other one here, because this is raising a lot of eyebrows. Saudi Arabia, President Joe Biden is set to meet with the Crown Prince and his father too, Prince King Salman of Saudi Arabia, and the criticisms are there. Right, the criticisms are out there. Of course, the Crown Prince. What do they call him? The acronym. I'm trying to remember it. But he is fingered in the murder of Jamal. What is the fella's name? The name of the journalist. I'm seeing the name right there. Right? Jamal Khashoggi. in that embassy there a couple of years ago, and folks are believing that Biden should not be meeting with the Crown Prince. And so that is what is occupying a lot of time now in international media, that he should not be meeting. He's going to be meeting with the father, King Salman, and also Prince Mohammed bin Salman as well, the Crown Prince, right? And that is the challenge. MBS, that's the acronym that he goes by. That's the challenge there. Whether Biden will relent. You see, the thing is, as we know, Drita, in international politics, in international relations, there are no permanent enemies and there are no permanent friends, right? Only interest. And the US has an interest in this area. The Saudis want to work with them. And so basically, under Trump, they were given a free pass for this murder of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi there, right? And a lot of people says, it really shows you how the world works. They know who did it,
Yeah.
They know who was behind it, right? The Saudis threw up a couple men and said, these are the folks, but they weren't the intellectual authors, right? Khashoggi was very, very outspoken about the politics of Saudi Arabia, some of the things they're doing, human rights abuses and all that. And he was lowered to that embassy. His body was dismembered and all of that, right? They lied about it. They knew who the intellectual author is, but they see this thing called power and interest, all right?
All right. So I think the interesting thing as to particularly with this bit is the topics that are up for discussion. And as you're seeing there, the topics as being announced up for discussion is energy supply, human rights, and security cooperation. So very, very heavy topics there for discussion. And when the US, let me pick my words very carefully here. When it comes to energy supply, the life of a journalist seems to take a back seat.
Yeah, and this is one of the issues Sabak News raised recently when the Saudis were here, because unless Irfan is deaf, why are you dressing up? Trying to appear like you're gonna lose something is so valuable here. You got to go overboard, right? In the traditional wear of the Saudis. I mean, I see we have the National Two Shows Conference happening all week. I didn't see Irfan, looking like dressing in the traditional wear like Mr. Schumann. I had him down there trying to court, if you really want to court the indigenous people, right? I didn't see him in traditional indigenous. I saw him in a headdress, but that's as far as he's willing to go, right? So it looks a certain way.
No, that's for the indigenous people.
Again, a lot of criticisms is coming the way of the American president for this proposed meeting. Right? That's supposed to be happening soon.
Very, very interesting, especially when it comes to security cooperation. You see what is going on right about now between Russia and Ukraine and all of that. So very, very interesting conversations that are going to be had, not just here, but throughout the world, as far as and we were talking only recently about the fact that Russia was actually testing weapons and so forth.
Cool.
We have a lot to think about, as Guyana. We have so many internal issues that we
lot of things to think
every
about
single day. But when it comes to those level of international relations and so forth, especially when it comes to any talks about military and our ability to defend ourselves and all of those things, we suddenly move from all of this big talk, right on. So we have to be very, very careful how we look at these things. But this reporting needs to be brought forward, and guys, we have to pay keen attention to each and every one of these meetings that are being had.
Correct is right. Look what's happening on this front. We've been talking about Sri Lanka. The folks there are different, right? The Sri Lankan president has recently quit. Right? Has recently quit. He has resigned. He's fled to the Maldives, and he has recently quit.
Yeah, well, the thing is about him, when I was looking at the fact, I know Sri Lankans, they were very upset that he left the country without before he resigned, and I was telling some folks, I'm not sure if I mentioned it here, that is my assessment, that he left. He didn't resign before he before he left, because he wanted to utilize the military and the other resources that comes with being the president in order to safely leave Sri Lanka.
So this is an end of the Rajapaksa dynasty. Rajapaksa dynasty there in Sri Lanka. His brother was prime minister, also finance minister, and his brother has been prevented from leaving the country. They stormed his private residence, the brother's private residence, and also they stormed the prime minister's office. They set the residence on fire. You know, had that happened here, you know, that people would go and come and give them money. I said, the money thing, take $500 million, right? No. But the Sri Lankans are very adamant that they must go. They fed up with this Rajapaksa dynasty there, and they say they must go, and that's what they're pursuing. They say they might leave, and even the guy who is now deputizing prime minister, they say he must go. We want none of y'all. We want none of y'all there. Quite an example being set. And as we said yesterday, we told you that Clement Rohi ran out. He said he supports this, and guy needs to be supporting the protests happening in Sri Lanka. Yep, Clement Rohi ran out.
That is correct.
He said protest. He said corruption. Protest corruption. Guy needs to hear, man.
Did he not say demand resignations or something?
Yes, demand resignation, corrupt officials.
So Clement different right now.
Yeah.
He's okay. We got to check on him.
Yeah, in his heart of hearts, you know.
He's anti-corrupt.
Anti-corrupt in his heart. In his heart of hearts. And why is that something that fun, folks? Let's look at something happening locally. Folks, be different. I hope Robeson been watching this morning. And May Toussaint, whatever her name is, the PSD or the ministry. I hope they watch it, because them boys getting desperate, folks. Cost of living gone up.
Oh, wow.
Right? Two folks heading down. I said we don't have the footage queued up. Going down Hatfield Street, I think it is, or Norton Street, on a motorbike. Right? Them boys lash them off the motorbike. The man riding the motorbike fall overboard. The pillar rider fall off, and them boys the bike there after, you know. Them boys collect the bike. Can you imagine that? You just bank into the street. Right? They're always sticking up on robbing, and they're running off the road.
Because they've had to be watching the man for a while.
Not the man in the trench.
He's coming
the
that
bike
area.
they go with.
Yeah.
Right? The bike, things getting desperate, folks. Things getting desperate. Desperate. Hit the man off the bike and gone. Hit the man for the trench, you know. My Lord. What we coming to as a country? Something is wrong in this place. Something is wrong. And if you say no, everything up and up, then you part of the problem too. Could you imagine? You go and think, they want it so bad, they knock you overboard.
I've been saying for a while that people know who these people are. They must know. This place is way too small for poor persons not to know who these folks are. And also the level of the police stations, they know who these people are.
Yeah.
But I don't see any valid reason why they're not taking them in.
Yeah.
Why are these persons still on the streets riding around at will, robbing persons and all of that? You know, you don't just get to say in your mind that, you know, well, no one is being physically hurt. That's where it goes to. And you have to be proactive. You have to be proactive. Guyana Police Force needs to do a whole lot more work when it comes to these persistent. It is a steady increase. If I'm to use
Dan Yearwood says, you know, the Saudi wouldn't allow that.
It's a steady increase in crime, especially of these natures.
No, don't tell the police force that, because they said yesterday there's been a 15% reduction in serious crime. So this one like is a joke, right?
Well, I think when these reports are being made, I think one of the questions, again, I say mainstream media needs to go into is, you know, what do you categorize as a serious crime? What do you categorize as petty crime and so forth? So you person would have a clear understanding of why they are reporting numbers as they're reporting it and so forth. It's just not okay to go out and use terminologies that persons don't have a very acute understanding of what it is.
Very much so, very much so. We told you guys about Clement Rohi speaking from exile quite recently. Well, Donald Ramachar, former president, he ran out too. He ran out, but here Donald talking about.
Man, but what's going on?
Donald say, Guyana electoral system encourages racial voting. The same system that quote unquote lucky, it encourages racial voting. Right?
There was some rumor at one time
Uh-huh.
about Donald and Jack deal. You remember?
Which one of them? Which one the rumors? Right. So Donald run out. He said the Guyana's electoral system encourages racial voting. People, folks, I don't know. Like some people say the board, I says the things, right? But a lot of stuff happening here. A lot of stuff happening here. He just ran out. Clement ran out the other day and said we need to protest corruption and those kinds of things and demand resignation. Now Donald ran out. And Donald says, this is the problem that we're having. I think I want to read part of the notation in which he said that, let me make sure I put it properly. Once election, he said rather, in Guyana during the regional and general elections, under the system of proportional representation, PR, citizens throughout the country cast their ballots in favor of a list of candidates. Once elections are concluded, the seats of the elected members on each list are allocated in the National Assembly in proportion to their number of votes cast in favor of the list. However, this system of voting has created the perfect condition to keep Guyanese voting for a party based on their ethnic preferences rather than electing leaders because of the national issues canvas. This sounds nice, what we should be doing. But the same system that has foisted him on us, the same system, and he buys in there. I mean, he could talk to them about meaningful electoral reform, but alas, it is not to be. It is not to be. That will come back. That will come back.
He needs to qualify that statement a little bit more.
I thought you were saying he need to go back. He come back, folks.
He needs to qualify that statement a little bit more as to what exactly he's trying to say, because what system is he proposing as opposed to the system that is in place right now? We have a lot to be done, especially when it comes to electoral reform and all of that. But you have to look at the failures of the system, the real failures of the system as is, and we've highlighted so many of those as it pertains to the structure of the system, the requirements throughout. When E-Day, it's a big day for Guyana, but when it comes to election in this country altogether, E-Day is just the end of it all. That's the last part of it. Moving up to that.
Is the declaration next?
What are the preparations
is the declaration
that are being made? How are those preparations being made? It's huge. So I know what he's saying right now, but I want to see what is the proposal that he's making to counter that? Why is he saying this now? Why now?
Only now, when he's president, you didn't realize it. Right? Elected by that same system. No. From exile, right? You thought crystal clear. That's what happened when you're doing time, When you're doing 10 to life, your thoughts clear, you're seeing life crystal clear.
10 to life.
10 to life in exile. That was happening. But look at your boy. Right? The other one on the other side now. They've been saying, we could renegotiate this contract and get more for Guyanese. We are the real deal makers. Right? We could get more. No. Jaguar came out recently and said, a bigger share of the oil money now is not a good thing. Oh, brother, a bigger share of the oil money now is not a good thing. Right? For them companies to give Guyana more money, no, it's not a good thing. Right? It's not a good thing. This is now to make an excuse as to why they are not trying to renegotiate. For persons are asking, there's a 2% production sharing agreement in place, you got some royalties and so on. They want 50% and something. There are various numbers. Now he's saying this is not a good thing. If ExxonMobil give us more money, it's not a good thing for this country. Folks, listen to me. I don't know. We're supposed to be getting better. But this is not to be. We're supposed to be getting better. He says, not a good thing. All this money I want. Right, more money from exile. It's not a good thing right now. Rita?
Looking at it, and I want to just say that he went on to say that a bigger share of the oil money, a bigger share of oil money now, not a good thing. We can't spend it all
Why you gonna spend it?
because that's my point. It becomes inflationary and all of that. So apparently, what he's saying is, once the money is there, they're gonna
They're
spend it.
tempted, eh? For
So,
thief.
so like once the money's there,
Yes.
they're gonna want to spend it.
Yeah, they
So
want to spend.
let's
Spend,
not
baby,
collect
spend.
it. Let's not collect
Let's
it.
look at it. It boggles your mind, right?
Put the seats alongside. That was his moment.
Yeah, that's the moment. Don't we ask example for more money? It's not a good thing right now for us to ask for more money. Right? Don't ask your boss for a raise. It's not a good thing. You're going to want to spend it. You can't save it. Don't ask for a raise from your boss. Right? You can't spend all one time. Right? I think they invent banking, savings and stuff.
There's a fund.
Right.
There's a natural resource.
Yes, but it's held in an international bank.
Right. There's a natural resource fund that they
Wow.
made 2 withdrawals from already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't get the argument.
So too much money from exile is a bad thing for we know. Right? It's like if you say, you get like Elon Musk money and saying, if I want more money, it's bad for me. Right?
Only if Elon Musk was thinking
I
like
can
that.
stop earning money now. Right? You know, your Oprah Winfrey said, I can stop doing these, got this, what do you
These
call
talk
it?
shows.
These talk shows, this syndicate, whatever the case might be.
She would have
Make it too much
never
money.
owned
This thing
that
is bad for me.
satellite.
This thing is bad for me now. Earning too much money. Right? You know? And then by earning more money, you know. And Jack just say, oh, this compound a little too big for me now. This is going to work to my detriment. Let's give him this one house, you know. Right? Let's give him this one house. Right?
Nicole,
It's different
Nicole Higgins is saying public servants are still waiting on their increases.
Right. Well,
Right. And
Nicole, hold on,
We're
Nicole.
coming there, Nicole.
While you waiting for that, this announcement was made yesterday. More money coming. Not for you. More money coming. You ain't got no conference happening right now, Nicole. Right? You got to fit yourself with right people. A lot of money coming, but you see the solutions? Right? The solution is don't let me take more money. We can't spend it. We can't spend it. That's no solution at all, folks. More money coming. The folks have just announced. Right? FYI announced at the National Choice Conference overnight that they are giving $3 billion. $3 billion in projects and other things, handouts and so on, grants and so on, to the indigenous communities. $3 billion. And they're setting up a council to overlook infrastructure and a whole host of convoluted stuff. But we understand what happened here. $3 billion, right? Not to the public servants, I beg your pardon, right? Who equally deserve nothing against our Ambrinian brothers and sisters, indigenous brothers and sisters, nothing against people like Maripo. It's just we talking about parity and equity and fairness and those things, you know? Right? When you do on one side of the equation, you gotta balance back. It's not a simultaneous equation, man. You gotta bring down, carry up, pull far, balance out the thing. Not here. $3 billion, right? And it boggles the mind again because really you understand this issue better than I can, right? In my heart of hearts, I mean, economist, which is the real deal. Now, in the last budget in February, I can remember seeing $3 billion being gifted in this budget. There was a package there, I'm certain that impacted Amerindian communities, but suddenly money pulling out the hat. The same people who say they can't spend it, spending Wild West, you know.
Well, money hasn't been pulled out of the hat, and what I have to say is that particularly you would remember that what we were saying prior, and we've been talking about it since February. We said that they're going to come back mid-year. They're going to come for a supplementary budget in the National Assembly. Well, the first thing we have to say as it regards to this is that date has been announced. Next Thursday, the 21st of July, there will be a sitting of the National Assembly, and the people is basically coming there. They're making sure that they push these citizens because they want more money. That's the only time they come to the National Assembly. So
it's a slap in the face of National Assembly too, because he's already gone ahead and announced. It means that this thing is what is happening there is a farce now.
But we know
the debate happening is a farce because you done said the outcome. We can get $3 billion.
the debates happen in the National Assembly, and I want you to be very keen on this, folks. When the PP comes to the National Assembly, it's not they're coming there to provide headlines for the newspaper.
It's a set piece.
Articles are already written. They're just waiting on someone to finish speaking for them to release it, and that's the way in which they come, and that's the purpose of them coming to say, they hear so much. But I want to say this as it pertains to the indigenous people, and the indigenous leaders, and the indigenous communities throughout Guyana. The reason why this announcement is being made the way in which it's being made, on the fourth day of the conference, you have this announcement being made about this $3 billion and all of that. That is being done in such a way because of their failure as a government, the PPP's failure to actually do anything meaningful in these communities. So when the indigenous leaders came now and they're speaking day after day as to how many things in the communities needs to be done, now they have to admit that this is a PPP administration. Now they have to admit right there and then that, they didn't cater for all of those things. So now they have to plug in some finances to present a facade that now, as you request things, we're doing it. But the real issues now that are being highlighted at the level of the conference by the Tushaus, none of those issues are actually being addressed. When it comes to
the mining issues.
Mining issues, Chinese land, that's one of the major issues there, human rights violations and all of those things. They're not looking at all at issues of the allegations that are coming out of the communities when it comes to corruption and all of those things. No solutions being issued there at all. I know for example, and I have to say this right now, one of the things that they did ask the indigenous leaders there at a conference, they give them 2 days to come up with projects that they want them to do, and absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. You have indigenous leaders, they're coming to a conference, you're going to tell them they're on the spot that they must come up with projects that they want
for $3 billion.
Persons are going to work with them throughout the night and so forth, so that they to prioritize what they need. Now, giving the people absolutely no time to have any consultation and discussion with the people in their communities as to what should be prioritized and what should not be prioritized and so forth, because that's the haphazard nature. Why is that done? It's done in such a way because they want the headline to come out, $3 billion to be given out to the indigenous people. We keep saying it. Every single time they go out in the manner in which they're going out and doing things like this, especially when it comes to the monies that they are trying to inject right now, all the grants and all of it, it shows that they have a failed system. The structure is a sham. The system is failing. There's absolutely you cannot rely at all on the system to actually budget with any bit of competency for the actual needs of the people of the country. And that is what you're seeing here right now. Everything is a sham. All the announcements, you are talking about it over and over. You said they're going to the various regions on their what are they calling it? We call it a government comes to you. What are they calling it?
What is this?
I can't even remember what they're calling it. They're going to the various regions, they're meeting with the residents, and they're making on-the-spot announcements because the system of budgeting within the regions altogether was a complete failure, and they failed to adequately budget for the needs of the people. They did it without consultation of the people. Now that they had done the same thing with the indigenous people, now they have forced even the Tushaus at the conference to do the same thing because they didn't give them no time span to actually go back and consult with the residents of those communities as to what are the real needs of the community. But it's not all fun and games anymore, because I am noting when it comes to the APA, for example, I'm noting when it comes to these bodies, well, there you have it. We do not want to feel that because millions are spent on us, we must forever be grateful. And what is the PPP saying to this? What is the PPP saying to this, right? And basically what is being said there they're saying they are our Jews like any other citizen, and this is something that everybody needs to understand. It's the same bit that was coming out from the sugar workers there when no one than the CEO was telling them the PPP expect gratefulness if they do something to you, and that is what they expect also. When those announcements are made that we're gonna be spending $3 billion there, we're gonna put $3 billion into the communities and so forth, they expect gratefulness as none other than the CEO. They expect gratefulness.
But you know what, Twitter, in that issue with the Amerindian People's Association, the APU, in that APA rather, the press statement that was put out by the organization after April attempted to slam them during his presentation to the two shows, the folks there who man that organization say, if y'all were paying attention to us, we wouldn't have to go to the international court. It's because we can't get any redress to the salary issue, the Chinese landing issue, the what do you call it, Moroni issue, and all the other issues that permeate the fabric of the indigenous community in this country. Because you guys aren't listening, because we can't get redress for wrongdoing, we gotta go higher, right? If you were paying attention, you cared, that would not have been so. That's one of the things they said very, very strongly in that release quite recently. And then the second part is not because you help us, you help our villages. The last line I think in that press statement said, that's not your money, it's the people's money. And like any Guyanese or brothers and sisters, we deserve it.
Correct.
We deserve it.
Correct.
So don't think you're doing me no favors.
It's an indictment on the administration to have to go now to try to put plasters on the real on the
calling people
that they have created.
Nimakarang and so on.
It's an indictment on them, and the indigenous peoples of the country need to be very keen and to say like the sugar workers as well. When the people and listen, we have to be aware of the realization that is coming to being of all of these individuals. When the people, when these people understand the level of use and abuse that the PPP administration has used them for and all throughout the years to make sure that they have their votes, and so when they have access to the information to know how much money is being spent altogether and all of those things, when they are looking at budget numbers of $552.9 billion and all of that, and now they know the structure in place to actually present a budget to their needs, to actually deal with the real issues, to actually provide security mechanisms in place so that the people would be safe. Number one, the safety of the people. You're not looking at that, but you're gonna push something in there that they will not be able to utilize because they're not safe. They're not secure because persons are walking around with high-powered rifles right in their villages, intimidating
Something
them.
Something is wrong with that.
We have a fundamental issue with what is being prioritized and what is not being prioritized. And don't you dare think that you're going to go out there and pledge money to people in this day and age in 2022, and it's all going to be well and good. The APA, the Amerindian People's Association, they spoke out. They said, we wish to register our concern that all political administrations to date have treated NTC as a body to be controlled. And the people are speaking out there saying this is in no way provided for under the Amerindian Act of 2006. I know Barjagdio went out to try to refute that, and he was basically saying that, you as Tushals, you are political persons as well. You're political too, because you were elected to. That is his rebuttal. The people are speaking. They want to be. They want
more. They say they want more than just handouts.
They want representation. Their representation to be respected. That's what they're looking for. People want their representation when they are speaking from the position of their communities, from the villages. These are our issues. They want those issues to be addressed. You don't just come and say, Sheriff's coming and saying, there's a man walking around in front of my gate with a high power rifle every day. I don't feel sick. Sheriff, take $1 million there, boy. You all right? How does that solve the problem? It does not solve the problem.
It does not.
At all. You cannot in this day and age believe that you can buy out people, and they are digging a hole, and I keep saying it, they are digging a hole for themselves, because when you put persons, give people the idea that every time they speak out, you're going to come and throw some money at them, they're going to always speak out. They are going to always speak out, and lo and behold, you will see coming closer to the next election how they're going to, the position they're going to be in.
That foolishness is happening. Nicole Badness again tells us that sugar is now in Linden $240 a pound in some stores. $240 a pound, folks.
Well, Chopper posted a picture online with 2 bags of brown sugar, and he said, "Don't think I can tell you all where I'm living when I'm taking home these gold."
Yeah. That's it. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
That's our program,
Thank you,
folks. Share it. Like hundreds of you we watching us. Hundreds of you. We're so privileged for that. Heartened by that. Share the life. Others get valid and credible information as well as you folks. And we ask and invite you guys to partner with us. We're halfway through the month. We got responsibilities creeping up on us at the end of this month. Happens to everyone. Heart to hearts, we wish everything was free and we could do this for free. We could run everything on water, but that's not the reality. Unfortunately, it's not the reality. So we got several platforms by which you guys can contribute to our programs. You guys can donate to our programs. We got Cash App, we got Zelle, we got PayPal, MMG. We're available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well. You need any guidance, folks? Make a decision to partner with us on a monthly basis. It's going to help us a far away. 627-6963 is our WhatsApp number. 627-6963. That's the time.
Partner, that's our time. We're going to be seeing you back again. You know the timings, and it's going to be the weekend.
12 is open mic. We want to hear from some of you at 12 o'clock. Rock and come in.
See me until Monday.
Rock and come in.
In my heart of hearts, I'm feeling 100%.
Yeah. Rock and come in, folks. Rock and come in with your voice notes. We want to hear from you during our podcast, and it's Open Mic Friday.
I like today, before we go, today is David Ottergrange's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Chief.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Mr. President, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Have a great one.
Have a great day, guys.
Stay safe.